if we finish second in this group, which is likely, if we draw Bayern Munich and Sadio Mane puts the nail in that coffin, bro.
Wait, whoa. Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to James Redmond TV. I'm here with Monsanini, Big Six Bants, all that stuff as well. If you don't know who Monts is, crazy, but go subscribe to his channel. The title will have that YouTube channel in it as well. Monts has been a friend of mine for a long time, fellow Liverpool supporter as well. I had to get you on the channel because we've got a big game against Napoli tomorrow, and the reason why it's a big game isn't because we're already through in the Champions League. That's not why. But and I also don't even think. Let me know if you agree with this. I don't think this is actually like a season-defining game in any way. Not because Napoli haven't been great; they've been fantastic. But even if we do somehow go beat them, which I don't think we're going to, I don't see a world where us beating Napoli guarantees we're going to go and get a run of wins in the league. I just don't see it for a multitude of reasons. But is that a premise that you agree with?
Yeah, I think there's no evidence that Champions League form can roll over to the Prem in the way that we're playing at the moment. I think that whatever result we get in the Champions League it just doesn't correlate. Nothing rolls over, because clearly I think the only time we've really looked okay was when we beat Rangers 7-1 or whatever, and then we went over. That's
Rangers.
It's like you know what I'm saying. And it's what is my biggest fear, and I don't want to even speak this into reality, but if we finish second in this group, which is likely, if we draw Bayern Munich and Sadio Mane puts the nail in that coffin, bro.
Wait, whoa. What's the chances of us getting Sadio Mane?
Because no, as in if we draw Bayern Munich, because Bayern Munich have topped their group. Bayern Munich have topped their group.
So is it a possibility?
Yeah, we can draw Bayern Munich.
You wait for a gonna rig it, lads. Mane's fully. What? So I don't want to. Why is my phone ringing? My phone's ringing. The point that I'm going to make it while I put on this fella. Who was this? Who's calling me in the middle of a show with Monsanini? It's Rance. It's Rance. He's giving me a bell because I'm doing a show with him later. What a mush for calling me during my show, just because his team's finally winning some football games. The point that I was going to make. What was I making a point about once?
We could draw Bayern Munich and Sadio Mane could
phenomenal
to put the nail in the coffin.
Phenomenal listening skills. I would be so devoted if he scored. But do you want me to tell you the sickening thing about my love for Sadio Mane? That it'd be a small part of me that'd be happy for him. A small part. Because I think Mane, here's a topic of conversation. I think he's underappreciated by countless Liverpool fans. Loads. I don't think people hold him to the legendary status that they should. And people can say that I'm overrating Mane if they so please. And I'm not even going to say the reason why we're in the form now is directly with Mane, because I actually don't think that's the case. I don't think we'd be much better if we had Mane right now. The difference is the time that he was here, he was superb, he was brilliant, he was arguably the most important player with 1, 2, 3 other candidates. Let's be real. First piece of the jigsaw, scored big goals, scored in the knockouts of competitions. That's why I would not put it past Mane to score against us. And to the fans who don't give him the respect as a legend that they deserve, it's those type of fans that will deserve that type of slap in the face. But of course, I don't want it to happen.
I think I hate having the Salah Mane argument. I hate it because, I'm an advocate for Salah more than Mane, but it doesn't mean I discredit Mane. The season that Mane had a drop off, the injury, when we hit with injuries in 2020 after we won the league, and Mane had that drop off. I was that guy who was saying, no, next game he's going to come good. No, next game. And obviously he'd end up having a bad season. And then obviously he came good post AFCON the year after that. But, when you hold someone to the standards that he set, especially when we won the league, and 2018-19, when I was saying this guy's as good as Neymar, you don't need to. And they laughed at us when we said that. They laughed when we said Mane was as good as Neymar in 2019. Because he was that good. What
they do, they compare it to skills, they compare it to moments of absolutely superb brilliance, which looks brilliant on the eye and flicks. And I get that there's elements in Neymar's game where he's so much more well-rounded than Mane. But there's so many aspects.
No, come on, bro. Mane was backheeling the ball over goalkeepers. Let's not like Mane weren't backheeling bouncing the ball off the ground over Ben Foster. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so
Oh, are you talking about Satekas? Are you talking about Satekas Mane? Are you talking about the king of Africa? Oh no, don't you worry. I know his accolades and his achievements, but I also know what he was very, very good at, and what he was very, very good at is what elevated him to the player that made him the player that he is. He's so fucking strong. He is a physical specimen, but his intelligence on the football pitch is what got him through, and it's why when he did lose, he had a pace because the pace never came back. That's not why he went good again. It's because he became more intelligent. He adapted his game, and when he went down the middle, honestly, I think him down the middle this season would make us a much better Liverpool team. But we can't rely on him being fit. We can't rely on other players being fit. So that's still going to have a detriment overall.
And there's life goes on after Mane, bro. We have to understand that. I think we all know that there's always the whole FSG Klopp, who you going to blame. There's a lot of people it's so many people on who's on what to blame. But yes, I think this season you probably lean towards Klopp. But last season, you should have got the Mane contract done. And then Klopp doesn't have to now make the mistakes he's making. You know what I mean? Prevention is always better than cure. Now we're blaming.
They weren't able to keep Mane, though. Mane wanted to go when Bayern Munich.
He did want to go, of course, as well. And
did you know that as well? But Mane's agent actually has the same agent as Lewandowski, therefore little bit of something going on there, maybe, I don't know. But why wouldn't you go if you're Mane, why wouldn't you go to Bayern Munich? You're gonna get more money, you're gonna be winning league, forget competing, you're gonna be winning league titles season in, season out. You might not win the Champions League, but you've already got a medal. Players only really strive to win at least one of those anyway.
And his career, he's got 3 years lleft. So why not spend it at the top level still? He's got some flack off the Bayern Munich fans. I've kind of checked in because you check in on your exes. You know what I'm saying?
He hasn't done that. He hasn't done that great, has he?
He's done all right. Like do you know what it is? It's purple patchy. He's purple patchy. So obviously, right now he's doing all right again. He was being called the Senegalese Werner for a little bit. I found that very disrespectful. Like, how dare they? How dare? No, Bayern Munich Real Madrid fans, them lot don't pull no punches, innit? Them guys, they think we're bad, and the Arsenal guys, and Real Madrid and Bayern Munich fans, because they're used to winning everything, innit? Winning it all the time. So
yeah.
But
lad, they're bougie kids. They're the ones who live in like mad houses and that, lad. Like we're council house. Do you not think that Diaz can become as good as Mane?
No.
Not
and
even
that's
close.
And no, he can get there because Diaz has qualities that Mane actually doesn't have. Like there's qualities in Diaz. I see that, you're a proper winger, bro. But you see Mane, bro. You see what that guy was doing. I don't think I'll see that. Because sometimes I do the nostalgia thing. We're Liverpool fans. We're naturally historical.
You're on the same thing as me, lad. You're on the Sadio juice. What do you think the maximum is for Luis Diaz? And what was Mane's best season? Was it the one where he got Golden Boot? 20? Was that 22 goals?
Oh, yeah, 22.
I think it was 22 goals. 22, and he got the Golden Boot with Salah and Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Either way, though, I mean, in numbers, do you think Diaz can compare to Mane in terms of numbers, in terms of the best version of Mane and what Diaz can get to? Because it's not just about numbers, it's about what they bring to the game.
I don't think Diaz will ever score 22 goals in a season. I think with Diaz, there are moments where he goes missing. Mane, throughout his Liverpool career, has never gone missing. As bad as he's played, as good as he's played, he's never, ever gone missing on the pitch. Do you think?
I don't. I think he's definitely gone missing at times. The season where we had the COVID season and he was like really bad that year. I think.
Go on. You go first.
He was poor in the COVID season, and I think anyone who suggests otherwise, Monts, I could guarantee if I went back in time and looked at your content at the time, you'd be talking about Sadio Mane. Just based on his performances. I always said he was going to come back. I always said he weren't finished, but in that period, he was gone. Yeah. I think in the first half of last season, he was a bit quiet. I think in the first half of last season, he was pretty quiet. He done bits, but it was just bits. He still went missing. So I would say be careful. You should never care about what people in the comment sections or YouTube thinks. But say hypothetically, if we're living in a world where we're trying to impress those scandalous individuals, you are setting yourself up for absolutely massive components of destruction from the Redmond's army. If you say Mane's never been out of the game, even though he's the greatest player of all time in my eyes.
No. Hear me out. You know what? What I say that because the reason I say that is because trust me, I'm an advocate of Mane's poor form throughout that season. As I said, you go back and watch it. What I was saying about Mane, but what I'm saying is what I mean by hide from games is that when Mane was having stinker after stinker after stinker after stinker, when I say hide, for me, he was still always trying to get on the ball, even though he was just doing nothing on the ball, if that makes sense. That's what I meant by hide. He
Yeah,
was always
I
present.
get you.
That's what I mean. He was always present in games. I think that.
Whereas Diaz doesn't like to
Yeah,
always get stuck in. Do you think that can
yeah,
be developed into
that's
him?
the difference. I think, yeah, because again, it's not one of them things in football that you can't teach. There's certain things in football you cannot teach in it. And I think
Yeah.
being able to get stuck in more and being more present in the game, I think you can teach that, especially someone like Klopp, he's a more robust coach in terms of physicality. I think that Diaz can be taught that, because when Diaz is in the game, he's a consistent problem. But then you'll get 35 minutes, sorry, that's 35, that's mad specific, 35 minutes in a game where I'll not forget he's playing, but it's like, you know what I mean? And I don't know whether that's accustomed to the new system that we're playing, because I think when Diaz first come on the scene, he was more present. But sometimes I'm seeing there's just large portions of the game where I'm not seeing him. And also it's his shooting ability that I think for me is a real issue at times. I feel like he doesn't have any finesse when he shoots. He just kind of focuses on hitting the ball cleanly. And
I think
that's
he's
it.
quite okay at getting the ball off the inside of his right foot, but I'm on the same page as you. It's not consistent enough, and when someone doesn't have consistently good shooting, then how do you expect them to just
But we've had
drastically?
Yeah, we've had two ruthless
No,
wingers for
do
the
that.
last 5 years. So we're used to just having ruthless wingers, ruthless in front of goal. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's why before we do go into the Napoli game, I think as Liverpool fans, we do need to really seriously reevaluate expectations. And I think some Liverpool fans aren't reevaluating expectations, which is why the explosions are happening. Like, we need to understand where we are right now. You know what I mean?
is Nunez not good enough to step up to the plate in your opinion?
No, I think that's one thing. That's one thing I know we was going to disagree on. For me, I'm not a fan of Darwin Nunez. In my opinion, I
Who
think.
you think that me and you are going to disagree on?
Yeah. Me and Darwin
Oh
Nunez.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't think. I think he's got a likable factor. He's got the fight in him. He's got the dog in him. But for me, he's not better than Diogo Jota. I think for me, Darwin Nunez should be coming off the bench for Liverpool, and he's an Origi replacement in my eyes. I don't think he's of Liverpool quality, in my opinion. He can come
What
good.
about?
I think in 2 years he can come good. He's got a lot of potential, but do Liverpool have time for potential? Because by the time potential is fulfilled, Thiago's 33, Salah's 33, Van Dijk's 34. You know what I mean? Henderson's probably retired. Milner's 40, probably still starting centre mid for us. You know what I mean?
Don't you think there's a lot of credit in him scoring 6 goals when the team hasn't been up to par?
Yeah, but for me, like he's always going to get goals. He's a goal scorer, but
Isn't that what he's meant to do? So therefore, isn't he doing his job?
Boy, because again, it's the lack where he lacks everywhere else when he plays in his overall ability and what he brings to the game. Where he lacks for me, he needs to make up in being clinical. And being clinical and being a goal scorer are two different things. Mo Salah's not clinical, but he's a goal scorer. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not clinical. So I think Darwin Nunez, to me, to accept him personally as a fan, as I said, needs to be clinical, and he's not clinical. So until he becomes clinical, he's scoring goals, but like these goals aren't winning us games, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like he needs to really improve, and his footballing fundamentals to me just aren't up to scratch. That's just my opinion on him. And I think,
But Salah's been in a period. Everyone used to say it about Mo Salah. Mo Salah should have 80 goals, and it's because he'd get 3 to 4 to 5 chances a game, score one of them. But the difference was we had a more composed defence and a more composed midfield. Salah was able to get on the end of those chances. Wouldn't you share the same sentiment and maybe suggest Nunez can become what we all, or what a
he
lot of
can be,
Liverpool
yeah,
fans
I
thought?
think he can be, yeah. He can.
Yeah, in a sense, do you think he's going to get better in terms of being clinical?
I think he'll get better, because he's not going to come in and score one goal and then not play, and he's not that type of player. He needs to play game in, game out. I think he's very much on confidence. He seems like a confidence player to me. And when his confidence is booming, you'll see him take a shot with the ball, come over his shoulder on his left foot, and he'll slap the post from like 20 yards. But then he'll just spaz out in front of goal. So to get that out of his game, I think he needs to play more. But that's me being objective about it. My actual opinion is that I don't think at the moment he's good enough for Liverpool Football Club.
I've still got a lot of questions, but guaranteed I'll go to the stadium, I'll sing his name week in, week out, and I just wanted to see what your perspective of it was, lads.
Because James, you have mirrored everything I've been saying.
I
The
know. I
DM,
could
the
tell by the
abuse,
way you were saying it.
the abuse I've been getting over the last 2 weeks, especially
Happens to the
because
best of us, lads.
because when he was linked to Man United before he got linked to Liverpool, and I was laughing at these man. James, I was laughing at these man. I said, "You lot getting Nunez for 80 mil? You lot are it, like, bro. It's like someone saw me and thought, you know what? You think you're funny? You think you're funny? You think you wait 1 second. He's putting on the Liverpool top, and obviously he's our player, and we have to get behind him. And whatever I say about him, when he scores, you think I'm not shouting and screaming his name? Don't be silly. You know what I'm saying? But I think with the current team we've got, we are a worse team trying to accommodate for Darwin Nunez. You know what I'm saying? As bad as a form Mo Salah is in, and how under the way he's underperforming, we are a much better team trying to accommodate for Mo Salah than we are Darwin Nunez. He does not have enough credit in the bank to change the system to mold a player who's only had one good season in the league that we don't even respect. And that is my honest opinion. And as I said, when your prime players, the spine of your team, the Fabinhos, the Van Dijks, the Thiagos, the Salahs, when these guys are 28 to 31 when they're in that age bracket, you can't afford to make a marquee signing that if you have a marquee signing, he has to be win now, because by the time that marquee signing comes good in a couple of years, those prime players in the spine of your team that's in 28 to 31 are now past their prime by the time that marquee signing comes good. So it doesn't correlate with your timeline of what you need to do. City spine is aging. Mahrez is aging. De Bruyne is 31. So who did they get? They got a marquee signing who is here and now. You know what I'm saying? It's unrealistic, but Liverpool should have been looking at the Harry Kanes, the Benzemas, the Lewandowskis, try and turn his head, even though
We were never going to get those, though. We were never going to get those.
Get it. I'm saying that it wasn't the right decision to go and to make a marquee signing of a player that that divides.
But Monts, this is where you'll fall into a little bit of trouble in terms of the argument you're putting across, because who else was there? Now you can probably come up with a few names, because what?
I didn't want to. I said, if you're not getting Nkunku, put the money for a centre mid, put the money for a midfielder, give Jota a start.
You didn't think it was the first priority? Yeah.
I said because I was. Go, no, you go.
No, I was just saying, do you think it was your first priority?
No.
Not getting a striker? Yeah.
No, I didn't think it was. I understand. Obviously, for me, I understand that Klopp needed to fill a void. Mane's gone, Origi's gone, Taki's gone. I get it, innit? I get it. But for me, the midfield, and especially because we were looking at Tchouaméni before Nunez, and then when he chose Real Madrid, we go, all right, then we're gonna go and buy a striker. So that's what confused me. How you go from looking at a centre mid, and I believe, and I really do want to hear your opinion on Fabinho, because that's a big one for me. I do believe in the camp somewhere at Liverpool, these guys know Fabinho might be done out here, innit? And I think that's why they were looking at Tchouaméni. But for me, we needed to get a centre mid, and I would have been happy to go let Jota have another run out as the first choice. And obviously Firmino's there for his final year, probably, and maybe get another guy who can, because again, another guy who.
What is it you're asking me?
Say that again?
What was it that you were asking me?
About for me, Fabinho?
Yeah.
No, I just said I think that maybe the fact that we were looking at Tchouaméni quite closely, is that maybe in the Liverpool ranks, in the Liverpool hierarchy somewhere, or maybe amongst the camp of players or coaching staff, that they knew that Fabinho's regression was probably going to come quicker than what we're seeing on the pitch. Maybe that's why they looked for another. Maybe I just think there's no smoke without fire. But then how do you go from that to then going and buying a striker and forgetting about the midfield?
It's very possible that's the case. And on top of that, even if that is true, I just think, to play devil's advocate with your point, as much as it's easy to say, let's get this midfielder. Let's say you've got 5 options in midfield and none of them are available. why would you then go to number 6 if they're going to be the long-term solution? Say if the top 5 are all long-term solutions, and the purpose of you going out and spending big money when we know we've got very tight owners, you want to spend that on the long-term solution. Otherwise, what's the point in paying 50 million for someone for 2 years when you're going to pay 100 million for someone for the next 5? Hopefully.
I don't even.
But no, wait there. I haven't even finished my point there, Mons. Fucking hell. Wait, hold your horses. Right, the point that I'm leading to is that if they're not going to go and spend that much, why are you going to go to number 6 when you can wait till next year and then go for one of the 5?
Because next year you can't legislate for where Liverpool are going to be as a football club, and it's not like we're agreeing a pre-contract a year in advance. Like kind of like we did with Naby Keita kind of thing. Jude Bellingham can easily have his head turned by Real Madrid. He can have his head turned by Manchester City. What is here
exactly same way Tuchemani was.
I mean, do it, yeah, exactly. It looked like we were going to get him. I reckon maybe if he did win the Champions, we might have even got him. You never know what would have happened. But for me, I don't think it's maybe like a marquee midfielder that was even the issue. I think we needed a couple heads in the midfield. A couple of names. It wasn't just go and get Nico Barella or go and get Jude Bellingham, and all problems are solved. Like Jude Bellingham is a brilliant midfielder, but him alone is not going to solve Liverpool's midfield issues.
No, I agree.
I agree. So I think there's a couple replacements needed to be made. Curtis Jones, I don't think is playing at the level that he needs to play at. I think Fabinho is regressing. Thiago is very injury prone. Henderson is on the decline. Milner's too old. Naby Keita, I don't even want him at the club at the moment. Whatever's going on with him. And then who you left with? Oxlade-Chamberlain. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Oxlade's got to go as well.
Yeah, Oxlade's got to go as well. Yeah, and then cool. Who have you got? Harvey Elliott, who again probably one of the better players this season, but. You know what I mean? It's the midfield issue is a really big one, and I think a couple of names. And I know you said 6th choice. I think I would have just maybe looked at a few names, not like any old, shoehorn signings, but just like there's a few names that I personally would have maybe went for, but maybe it might not be in the best interest.
But it would have been not cost effective for the football club, and people have got to be realistic to what they are going to do in comparison to what you think you would do or what you want to do. And it's annoying because they should invest more, they can invest more, they just decide to not do it. The point is that that's the way they're structuring it. Therefore, it's very difficult to really go out there and replace that. But I agree that they should do it. So going to the Napoli game, lads. The Napoli game's one of those. I think previewing it, I don't expect to get a win. I'm not expecting a good performance. I'm just expecting certain moments. I probably can see a goal in us, but otherwise, even though it's at Anfield, I feel when Liverpool lose at Anfield once, it easily sets up a very following trend of maybe it happening again. Do you see anything different? And even if we do win, does it even mean anything?
Well, I think we have to win. If we was to win,
it's 4-0, so we're not going to finish first.
We have to win 4-0 to finish first.
That's not happening.
I think Klopp rests a lot of players, and I think we get a spanking at Anfield.
We'll talk about the do you reckon we're going to do that? I think that when we'll get into the lineup prediction in a sec, but Napoli have just been bossed this season. Have you seen how on fire they are?
Are they top of the league still? Are they still top of the league?
Nah, they will be. I'm checking that right now as we speak. But what I've been hearing from Italians and whatnot is that they're one of the best teams out of Italy in years. And you know what, lad? When they played us, they showed nothing but that. Yes, it contributed to us being shit, but they really put a lot of pressure on us. And they're first. They're on 32 points. They played 12 games. They've won 10. They've drew 2. They're in really serious form. They've won the last 5 in the league, and they are actually 5 points clear of second, which is Atalanta.
The Italian
mad lads.
Italian Arsenal.
Mad.
Like, it's what they're doing is ridiculous. And Osimhen, their guy got injured, and they were still smacking teams. They were still
tactically good.
Yeah,
tactically good. Don't matter if you lose a player.
I generally believe, because remember when the Anfield record got beat 2 years ago, at Burnley, when we lost to Burnley, and it kind of, as you said, sparked a chain of events.
Oh, lads, I don't like remembering any games against Burnley. Burnley were horrible to play against. I hated playing them. Nah, I don't remember because it was Burnley.
We lost 1-0. That was the game where we lost our Anfield record. Season, yeah. And
weren't that Crystal Palace?
No, it was Burnley, I believe. 1-0. 1-0. They conceded the penalty.
Oh, do you mean when there was no fans?
Yeah, when there was no fans.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
And bro, like that just sparked a chain of events. What we went on to lose 6 in a row, I believe.
Facts.
Yeah. So I don't think, I don't believe it will be as bad as that, bro.
What?
Like, I
Oh,
don't.
which Napoli? Oh, which 6 home defeats?
Yeah. I don't think it will be as bad as that. So I don't think Napoli. I don't think Napoli walk and mow us over. Like Anfield's just handing out 3 points. But I
I'll
generally,
question. I'll question. It's worse than that. I'll question
you think
because
it's
the
worse?
difference. I definitely believe it's worse, and dispute if you believe you should need to. I think when it comes to the game right now, Mons, I just don't believe there's any other reason for us to believe in these players to get a win. There's belief, there's delusion, and then there's realism, and you've got to find a healthy balance of all, because you don't want to be too negative and call players names, but you can be constructive, and even though you'll get criticised for being constructive, it's a very important thing to do. In a game like this, they're better collectively. They've got momentum. Momentum's huge in football, not to mention, oh, by the way, they've already beat us 4-0 at 4-1. Was it 4-1? 4-1, weren't it?
4-1, 4-1, yeah, 4-1.
Either way, that was the most constellation goal that you were ever going to find. And they were just sitting off for the rest of the game. I remember it vividly. I remember thinking, wow, as if they're just sitting back. They're not trying to kill us, you know what I mean? But they know they've got a game on the weekend that they need to rest for. They're looking at us as a training session. That's going to probably happen again in terms of the tactical play. And I just don't understand how we're going to get a result out of it, me brother. However, in terms of the lineup itself, you said you're going to see a lot of changes. We'll try and break it down together. In goal, I feel like there's no other man other than Alisson.
Yep.
Who goes in the net? Robertson left back.
Left back goes
Tsimikas.
Yeah, Tsimikas goes left back for me.
Do you think? Did you think Robbo played well against? Who did he play?
Leeds. I can see you've already erased it from your memory. I think Robertson, since he's come back, has been really good. His end product is still a bit there. But I think listen, Klopp was never going to give him the break. So the injury is kind of what he needed, if anything. His intensity is what everyone else is lacking, in my opinion. Robert looks like one of the only ones who's actually up for it.
Nah, he was good, lad. He was good. Right back.
Trent, can't believe he got taken off. But Trent, can't believe he got taken off. Can't believe it.
Which against Leeds?
Yeah, couldn't believe it.
He weren't great though, lad.
Nah, but like we're chasing the game. Like that's the only thing with me. The manager's negative.
I'm on it, but I'm losing me patience with Trent a bit, lads. Not like in a way that I'm giving up on him. I'm just mean you've got to drop him. You've got to. It's lads. Yeah, you've got to, lads. But the intensity's not there.
Anyway. The goal still came down Milner's side anyway.
No, I'm not saying Milner should be playing above him. I'm just saying you've got to drop Trent and you play Gomez right back, you play Kanate centre back. Regardless what you want to do, I don't want to see players who don't give a fuck. Regardless of mistakes, I see Joe Gomez giving a fuck week in week out. I really do. I see him week in week out going there and trying to get stuck in the way he can. It's actually why he can cause a mistake, because he commits, and I can appreciate that he's going out there. He's not just trying to stand off, not get involved because he doesn't want all the shit to be on him. I do genuinely believe there's an element of these players have that much stock, rightly so, with what they've achieved, but to the point where they now don't want to be seen doing shit. So if they stay out of the limelight and they don't get involved in the play and they don't make that glaring obvious mistake, therefore that keeps their stock at a good level. And I don't think they're directly linking it to the stock, but there's just individuals who don't like criticism, and the best way to avoid criticism is avoid being in the limelight. And that's why I think a lot of players are trying to go missing at the moment, and that's why I think you'll look at Gomez make a few more mistakes than other players, because when I see Van Dijk coming up against someone else, I'm just seeing this. I'm seeing Statue of Liberty settings, lad. You might as well stand still because they're still going to get past you. And on top of that as well, you're not pressing them. There's many moments where I've saw that from Virg. Yeah, and it's Gomez who'll get shit because he'll commit.
Yeah, because Virg, his fragrance has run out, isn't it? His Virgil van Dior. His fragrance has run out.
It's heavy, lads. I think some of these players can come back. Trent certainly being one of them with his age. Right now, I'm not for it.
I know that's crazy. Would you drop Virgil? Some people are calling for him to be dropped. Would you drop him?
Up until the World Cup, I don't think it matters. I think half the players are playing to stay fit for the World Cup anyway. That's the only explanation of how they've gone this shit this soon. The only explanation. Like, there's multiple other factors, don't get me wrong. But that's got to contribute to why so many players are being shit.
First major tournament for him, I believe.
And I just don't understand why we should persist with players who have probably got their minds elsewhere. They're trying the best for our team, but they're just not going that extra mile because they feel like they don't need to. It's not super necessary for them.
tomorrow though. He still plays tomorrow, I think.
No, I agree. So we are back four then. So we've gone with Trent right back,
Yeah, Trent right back.
left back Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez, because Kanate's only just got back.
Yeah, I'll play Gomez. I mean, Gomez we probably want to make up for the performance last time.
Here's a shout. Monts, here's a shout. Do you play Trent? Sorry, do you play Gomez right back and play Kanate centre? Because we're coming up against an attacking team, brother. They're going to be on steroids.
But we dashed him in and he got injured again, bro.
No, lad, but they're on the Italian roids, lad. We need to make sure that we get at them with the strongest armour and weaponry we've got, and that is certainly in Kanate.
When Kanate runs, the ground shakes. Don't you worry.
Lad, you're on that. Lad, he's a beast. Nah, but I'm saying, even though he's been injured, you've got to play him at some point, and he was back on the bench for the last game, so why not play him? How long do you go until you say, oh, when we bring you back, you're going to be injured again? Play him, lad.
When he come back and he got injured again, James, I was fuming, bro.
Yeah, lad, I'm sick of these injuries. They're fucking shit. But Kanate, I think if he played regularly this season, he would be our best centre back.
Yeah, I say we dash him in. You know what? I'm gonna go rest Trent for Tottenham, and then put Joe Gomez right back, Kanate right centre back, Virgil left centre back, and obviously Robbo left back and Ali in goal.
Midfield.
We're going for a double pivot because I hate the diamond. That diamond, we can never play that diamond. I'm not hearing the diamond.
Nah, that's what he'll go with. We're going with what Klopp will go with.
Yeah. Sitting, probably Henderson.
Yeah, right. He won't play Fabinho. What do you make of the Fabinho Klopp bust-up situation? That sounded a bit mad. Apparently, like they were fuming. The response, or what I heard, and I was actually at the game and I was watching Klopp on the sidelines a lot, and he was fuming for the majority of the game. You can tell he's not happy with what he's seeing. And Fabinho specifically, he shouted at Fabinho, and apparently Fabinho replied back with something like, "What do you want me to do?" And it's like, to have that negativity or that disconnect, does that maybe signify there is a little bit of disconnect in the dressing room at the moment between the players and the manager?
100% there's a disconnect, because you're looking at Klopp, the most optimistic. Let's be honest, bro, the most optimistic man in the world. Let's be honest with how he's been, and then he's all saying stuff like, I never thought we was going to hold on to the lead at Brighton. You know, he's saying that we'll go to the Emirates and we'll give it a go. You know, he said that I wanted to hold on to the draw at Leeds at home. Like the whole thing is negative, and I think
No, and do you want me to tell you what, Monch, you're 100% right, and it's because Klopp has clocked what he can't say. He can't come out. What is Klopp a man? Let me say this, brother. Let me say this. What is Klopp a true representation of? Because he doesn't like the media. He's made that very evident. He's a man of morals. He's a man of principle. A man of honours and principle. They're not going to come out in the media and slate the players and slate the owners. Now, from behind the scenes is a very different story, because people seem to associate when Klopp comes out and says, "Oh yeah, I'm proud of the boys today," in moments, and he'll mention the positives even though there's not really any to mention, is because the media are looking for a reaction from him, and he's just not willing to give him that reaction, which I can admire. But at the same time, you've got Virgil van Dijk coming out in interviews and absolutely like saying, "Listen, Jurgen shouts, he shouts," and I can guarantee Jurgen shouts, and I can guarantee he gets into these players. And when I'm at that stadium, people don't see it when they're watching from home. He is going at these players this season on the sidelines. He's fuming. So if you think he's going to have that same calm energy in the dressing room just because he's coming out and being a little bit positive in public, you are sadly mistaken to the type of manager that we've got. And if anything, he's recognising what everyone isn't. Maybe we had to defend against Leeds. And do you know, everyone who's saying we should have attacked and we should have done this, well, guess what? Maybe we're just not good enough for that no more. Because do you know what I also don't agree? This concept, Mons, and let me know what you think. I don't agree with the fact that we've been caught out tactically. I disagree with that massively. I think everyone knows what City are going to do to them, correct? Everyone knows they're going to outplay them. Everyone knows they're going to press them. Why can't you stop it then? It's because they just do that well better than what you can do to stop it. They're that good. That they've got that much energy, that much pressure. Liverpool are in a very similar premise to where when we had Mane, when we had Salah, the people that you were mentioning before, the explosive wingers, guess what? It doesn't matter if you knew what they were going to do, because they were too quick for you. They were too fast for you. They were too strong for you. And guess what? They were too clinical when they got given a fucking sniff of any chance that they could have been given. So I'm saying We don't have that same firepower, not because it's not even just mentally there, but because the quality isn't there. The players who were great years ago aren't so great no more. Fabinho's looking like one of them. And you don't want to write off these players fully, but there's a long enough case study now to suggest that maybe that could be the case. So I've went on a tangent, and the original question I was going to ask is certainly now gone out my head. But whatever I've just said, did that make sense? Because that got emotional.
It made complete sense. I think that you're right.
It can't be Klopp's fault, lad. He knows more than us. That's the point I was trying to make.
No, 100%. I'm not even blaming Klopp. I'm saying the disconnect between the players and the manager is more evident than it's ever been. That's what I believe. The disconnect is real. There's you mentioned it. You alluded to it earlier about players just giving a fuck. You're just tired of man that just don't even give a fuck. Like all how it shows that it shows that that they don't really give a fuck. I feel like with Fabinho, it's the second kind of little run-in they've had of recent now, and obviously one of them where he's kind of said, "What do you want me to do?" I think the other thing that was reported again, allegedly, Fabinho just ignored him, just ignored him, completely blanked him, and that is worrying for me. And I'll be real, for Fab, with what I'm seeing, he's turning like an 18-wheeler. If this doesn't improve for him, I want him gone in the summer. He's 28. Get some money for him, bro.
Lad, he's playing like Harry Maguire.
Literally,
I think he's played through an injury and his hips have just gone all something, because
he must be, bro. Because this is how do you go from here to here? Again, maybe he has been running to the ground and he's playing on an injury. It could be both. Look at Marcus Rashford. Like, it could be both. You can see players physically deteriorate, and he is physically deteriorating, and his brain isn't doing what his body's not doing what his brain wants it to do. He can't react. He can't move fast enough. And if that's the case, he's 28. 28. So, I hate to say it, but we need to be ruthless. And if the decline is that quick and that fast and there's no signs of improvement, he has to go in the summer. And I never thought I'd say this. Marco was one of my favorite players. Even opposite fans, rival fans will say it to me. I'll scream it to the heavens. No Fabinho, no party. As even the best Liverpool defenses over the last 4 years have still struggled, and Fabinho has been injured. But
if he was at Real Madrid, Real Madrid sold Casemiro before he was even playing bad for them. We're now getting players who are playing bad for us. You've got City who sell players at the right time. You've got many clubs who sell players at the right time. We're not talking, and me and Monts come on platforms like this and say stuff like this, not because we don't like Fabinho, but because apparently we're supposed to align our ambition and our sort of target to the football club with winning the league. If you're going to have an old player, guess what? As sad as it is, and as fucking hard as it is as well, it's very difficult to maintain with a player who does even play bad for 5 to 10 games, because that's points drop. That's knockout games that you could be getting knocked out of. That's potential trophies going down the fucking drain. When these players are missing for 10 games, you need the players who are going to be there week in, week out, getting the numbers, getting the goals, but more importantly, contributing to the overall team. We don't see that in players like Nunez. I assume we're on the same page there, where even though he can get goals, he doesn't improve the overall team. And that's something that we were looking for in the summer. Fabinho, right now, he's a detriment to the team, let alone being any sort of convenience for it. So we're not trying to be horrible, guys. And again, these have got more football ability and their small pinky toe than what me and Monts do probably combined. In fact, I'm not going to rate us that lowly, but the point still stands that, guys, these guys just might be on the decline. So unless we readjust expectations, which you said at the start of the show, Monts, that's been my key motto. I'm thinking about making a t-shirt with it on. I think unless we do that, we're going to be in a very difficult position to where we want to win the league, but we don't want to sell Fabinho. Oh, no, we can't be horrible to Fabinho. Oh, no, we can't be horrible to Nunez. Even though he's had a bad game and he scored 1 of 7 chances, we can't be horrible to him. But we want to win the league. Okay, then. So don't conflict the two, because we're still sticking with these two. It's not getting us to where we need to be, though. And I think that's where people get confused with mine and your point of view.
100%.
Would you agree?
Yeah, and remember, bro, we're a lot of Liverpool fans. We haven't had we had such a long period without sustained success. Such a long period, bro. That I think some people they can't accept that we can get it wrong, and sometimes we get it wrong. You know what I'm saying? We haven't got it wrong for so long, but right now we're getting it wrong, and they can't accept it, and are still holding us to the same standards. But if we get it wrong, we get it wrong. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to chat shit about the players who are making us play shit, yet they want to win the league. So the players who are playing shit and costing you the league, you don't want to question them and question the position in the squad. Because if you want to be the best in the world, you need to be ruthless. It's not a family home. You know what I mean? Like,
but then FSG and Klopp, it's a match made in heaven. Because it's sentimentality and lack of ruthlessness. Do you know what I'm saying? I personally, I don't think this was the right thing to do technically, but look at Tuchel. He went on the Champions League. Look, you got to take. You know what I'm saying? Look what he done for Chelsea. Then gone. And I'm not saying we need to be that ruthless. There's a level to the ruthlessness, but you can't, as you said, you can't want to win the league and then still have this player sentimentality. You can't still have Oxlade Chamberlain.
No, I agree.
Still have Oxlade.
I agree. And that's why I think that's why Klopp goes with Milner all the time, because I think when Fabinho, if it's true that he's being a little bit thingy and his attitude's dropped, Trent at times on the pitch look like his attitude drops as well. It just looks like someone that Klopp can't trust. Milner is that. He'll work for the team, and I can appreciate that about Milner. He might not be good enough, but he works for the team. And you know, if Klopp actually does believe we need to be holding out for draws against Leeds, that speaks bigger volumes than him coming out and saying, do you know, people with common sense, that speaks bigger volumes than him coming out and saying we need to get players, we need investments. That's basically what he's saying. He's saying it in a different language. Isn't playing Milner at 37 evidence enough he needs investment? Isn't he just saying that physically, Monts, or am I high on crack cocaine?
No, you are spot on. We played the exact same 11 and when we played Napoli in the Champions League 2 years ago. Did you know that?
High on crack cocaine, brother. High on crack cocaine. I know that we're running out of time on, so quickly just to round up. Midfield, Henderson. Are we going to say Curtis because you said that we're going to rotate?
Yeah, Curtis. I believe Harvey starts right centre mid.
Harvey as well.
On the other side, I believe.
Well, yeah, because if we're playing the diamonds as well, Harvey will play on the right, so you could go with Curtis and Henzo in the midfield, Harvey on the right. Are you going with Darwin on the left?
Yeah, I believe Darwin needs to play as much as possible. He needs to play as much as possible, regardless if it's, you know what I'm saying, and it will do him the world of confidence as well if he goes and gets a goal for Tottenham to play. Yeah. So Darwin, I think Darwin will go out on the left, maybe even Carvalho on the left, Darwin up top, Salah on the right. I'd
like that. But if we're going with the diamonds, what you can do is in fact, so 3 in midfield. I think Henderson, Curtis, Harvey, front 3 of Carvalho. I like what you did. Carvalho, Nunez, and Salah. I think that works out. Chat, let us know what you think in the comments down below as well. Go on.
No, I said and I think that will work. I think Fabinho just can't really play.
No, defo. Nah, Fabinho can't play. Score prediction?
3-1 Napoli.
3-1 Napoli. I'm going to be a bit more optimistic and just say 1-1. Because why not? Why not? We're going to end the show there, guys. It's been me. It's been Little Manny. What are you saying, bro?
No, I said I love it. No, I said I love it. I love it.
In it, lads. Mane's closing out the show, lad. Mane in style. I don't know what I'm going to do with this if he scores against us, though. I might need to throw it out as much as I love Mane. Lads, tell the people where they can go and watch. Yeah, we said it at the top of the show. Remind them of where they can go and view the glorious content that you're putting out.
It's there, Big Six Bants. That's the name.
It's in the title, people, as well.
It's 5 shows. We do so many shows every week now, so you'll see us live pretty much every day. So.
There we go, guys. And on top of that as well, I advocate for the Big Six Bants channel. It's a great channel that I advise everyone to go subscribe to. Go check out the content. Go support them, you know what I mean? Because Monts is coming on the channel. He's supporting James Redmond TV to offer you all some wonderful, wonderful content. So please do support him. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate all the support that you've been showing me recently. This has been an amazingly long preview of lefts, rights, many turns. But it's been boss and Monts. I appreciate you getting on the channel, lads. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you all later. Peace out.